All right, today we're talking about social acceptability does not equal recovery.
That's right.
Social acceptability does not equal recovery.
That's right.
And this is a hard one for us as well as it is for our families. Because, you know, we talked about codependency, we talked about enabling, right? We talked about the different stages that we fall to in our family, the 6 stages last week. And now this ties kind of in with all of those lessons. Social acceptability. What happens when I am accepted back into my family, when I am accepted back into society? Does that mean that I am okay? And the danger is, it doesn't take much to fool society.
That's right.
It doesn't take much to fool our family, because society and our family looks at this thing from the outside.
Yeah.
I sound good, I look good, so I'm good. Those are the markers for our family. I sound good. I'm quoting scripture, I know the literature, I'm saying some positive things, and they'll say stuff like, I know he's doing good, I can hear it in his voice.
Wow. Wow.
Family members, you can't hear recovery in our voice.
That's right. That's right.
We are master actors.
That's right. That's right.
You think Denzel and Meryl Streep is good?
Yeah.
They ain't got nothing on us.
That's right.
Matter of fact, we practice and rehearse those speeches.
Yeah.
So we're real good at them.
Yeah.
And guess what? We're going to learn today that just the absence of using makes me gain my weight back. So yes, I look good.
Yeah.
We eat 3 times a day. We exercise 4 times a week around here. So yes, in about 30 days, we look good.
Yeah.
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 But what recovery is, y'all, is an inside job.
That's right. That's right.
It's not an outside job. Yes, I look better and I sound better, but that doesn't mean that I am better. All right?
All right.
That's what this session here is about. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
And it's good to have. It's good to look better. It's good to gain your weight back. It's good to sound well and sound intelligent. But that doesn't mean that I have recovered. It says one of the first things that happens to many of us in recovery is that we start to look better. We get healthier. We bathe. We dress more appropriately. And without the activity of addiction, many of us finally stop stealing, lying, hustling.
Yeah.
We start to look normal just by removing the drugs. And that's what I was talking about. Looking normal is very different than being normal. And what we want to be, y'all, as recovering people, is we want to be normal, right? That's our goal. Acceptance in the eyes of the world is a benefit of recovery. It is not the same thing as recovery. It's just a benefit. Guess what, y'all? Getting our family back is a benefit. It doesn't mean that I'm okay. It's a wonderful thing when I start to see families coming in here and they don't look as mad as they did at first. They start to smile and I start to see the conversations and they're a little lighter. That's a wonderful thing. But that doesn't mean that I'm okay.
That's right.
That's just the beginning of it. And as I say all the time, this is the emergency room.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody telling the truth in the emergency room. The emergency room is for lying.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I always use the same illustration. If Pat steals his mother's car and totaled it out, and they call her and say, your son is in the hospital, he's in the emergency room. When she get to that hospital, she's not going to slap him with tubes on him. She's not going to mention the car. You know what she's going to say? Baby, I'm not even worried about that car. I'm just glad you okay. Is she telling the truth? No, she ain't. Because as soon as she find out that he going to make it, she going to bring up that car. He said, how? Did she slap you in the hospital or did she wait?
She waited.
Then she slapped you. There you go. That's what I'm saying. And so, guess what? Y'all as clients, when y'all family come in here and they all nice, don't y'all be fooled into thinking that means that y'all okay.
Yeah, that's right.
They just ain't gonna come down here to the church, to the emergency room, and act a fool.
That's right.
They worry about you being okay, but when you get home,
Yeah,
then they come back and say, you know what, ain't nothing changed.
that's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And then we shocked because we thought those smiles and them cookies and the chicken that they went and got was a sign that everything was okay. No, this is the emergency room. That makes sense?
Yes, sir.
So don't be fooled by the emergency room visit.
That's right.
And family members, don't y'all be fooled with how good they look and how well they sound. Neither one of them is a true man.
That's right.
We can enjoy the benefits of recovery, but we must take care to nurture their true source. Lasting recovery isn't found in acceptance from others, but in the inner growth set in motion by the 12 steps. We can't get fooled into the acceptance of others. Do we want it? Yes. But sometimes, y'all, we don't even get it. And what I found sometimes, it is better that my family stay mad at me a little longer because their love and acceptance becomes confusing to me. Because if y'all accept me, I don't need to stay.
Yeah,
I can come home.
that's right.
And so family members struggle with how do I support and still demand and set boundaries. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I tell all of the clients to never call home and share treatment center insanity with people out there.
Yeah.
Because it sets the family members relapse too. And so when they hear the insanity of treatment, all they hear is you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, so you ain't really getting better. Or they come out and they want to be in defense of you against the treatment center.
Right.
It's one of the two things. Oh, you're not going to victimize my baby. Well, this is the adult rehabilitation ministry. Ain't no babies here.
That's right.
And so, this is for big people.
That's it.
But you'll get fooled into that. We're not mistreating them. Do we treat them harshly? Yes. Yes, we do. Are we aggressive? Are we loud? Yes. All of those things that they tell you is true. But what we're trying to do, and this is what I tell y'all, I am more concerned with saving their lives than I am their feelings. Their feelings rarely come into play with me. I don't even consider it. I'm trying to save their life. I'm caring about them being mad or hurt or whatever. It don't even come into it. It don't even never cross my mind. Well, I'm gonna have to correct Pat. I wonder if it's gonna hurt his feelings if I do. So I'm trying to keep him from going back out there killing himself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so at that moment, I don't, not that we're harsh, but just don't come into play.
That's right. That's right.
Just for today, I know that looking good isn't enough. Lasting recovery is a what? Inside job. Inside job. Becoming employed, socially acceptable, and reuniting with our families does not make our lives manageable. Social acceptability does not equal recovery. And that's when it gets even tougher for us. It's one thing about looking good and sounding good in treatment. It's a whole nother thing once I get out and get a car and get a job and all of that. Then it becomes real difficult for me to remember that I still suffer from a disease. Because we like shiny things. And we got markers of what success would look like. But I got to remember that I still suffer from this thing. And that is difficult for me. See, I got 24 years and some many days, however many more days it is to the 5th, and we're going to party. A Holy Ghost party, as they say. But guess what? With 24 years clean, and so however many days that is, I still got to remember that I'm still an addict.
That's right.
And all of the social acceptability that I done got don't remove the fact that I'm still an addict.
That's right.
Because I'm still one hit away from losing all of that stuff that I done accomplished.
That's right.
Quickly. I always tease the family member. You know, that's a nice Christian father. But if he happened to see me out there on his way down here, walking down the street barefoot and smoking crack, and then I'm back down here on Monday working, he got a problem with that. And see, he's supposed to be a Christian, but what he's saying is, I can't smoke crack and teach his son. Ain't that something? I am just hurt by that, sir. See, he got standards for me. And he should.
That's right.
But it goes both ways. And that's how quick it can go. Just like that.
Like that.
That's why I gotta fight, and y'all gotta fight to do everything that you need to do not to get yourself in that situation. But he said, no, you have to go. Go. Wow. Many of us come to NA beaten. We think that drugs were the cause of our problems. And we figure that if we can just stop using, everything will be all right.
Wow.
No, y'all, not using drugs is the beginning. See, I can't see what's really wrong with me until I remove the drugs out of the situation. Because drugs ain't my problem. Living is my problem.
That's the problem.
And I can't even see what's truly wrong with me until, that's why supposedly out of the 25 clients that we got in the program, ain't none of them getting high, so they say. But it's mass chaos in here.
That's right.
And it should be, because that's when we figure out that there's something wrong.
Yeah.
When we going in the kitchen stealing food and saying, oh, I thought we could just go in there and get some food when we got ready. Then you could just go in there and cook when you got ready. Yeah. See? I don't get to figure out how selfish I am until I stop using.
That's right.
That's right.
I'm going to call my mom. You're going to come get me. See?
Yeah.
Like I'm two.
That's right.
That's what we get to work on when we get clean. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
They ain't got nothing to do with how well I look and how well I sound. It's when you remove the drugs out, then I get to see me. See, because what we do is, and what the family members do, I'm almost through, is we attack the disease. And we say, it's that dope. It's that alcohol. No, it's him. It's her. You see what I'm saying? So when I remove that, then I get to see me. And it's scary how sick I am.
Wow.
Let me go back and explain why that is, y'all. At whatever age we stop using, we start using, we stop maturing.
Yeah.
And so when we are, like me, I started using chronically when I was 12. So I got here at 28. So I'm a 28-year-old man with the coping skills of a 12-year-old child. And that's ugly. You see what I'm saying? Now I done went out and created 28-year-old man responsibilities. But I adapt to life like I'm 12. Now I got children, I got responsibilities, but emotionally, I'm 12 years old. So I bring a 12-year-old boy to man issues. And that's a sad thing. You know, and so that's why I ask them all the time, what age do you think you were acting when you said or done X? And sometimes they get mad about that, don't they? And don't want to answer. You know, but every now and then they'll say, that was 5. I said, yeah, that's about right. That was like a 5-year-old response to an adult situation. We will catch up, but it takes years to catch up. I've been in the fellowship for 27 years. I am 55 years old. Now, I don't always bring a 55-year-old man to every situation. Every now and then I bring a 12-year-old dude, and I'm really, really happy when I respond at about 28, 29. I'll be excited. Well, I handled that well. You know, why I don't take my ball and go home when I don't get what I want? Because that's what I normally do, is I want to take my ball and go home. No matter what, I'll just quit. There's some more quitters in here, right?
That's right.
We start to go to meetings. We change people, places, things. Before long, we acquire some clean time and get locked and loaded and on making up for all those years we used and getting back all those things that we gave away because of addiction. That's the third trap. And that is that as soon as I get clean, I want to make up for all of that time I lost. I want to get all of those things back I lost. And I want to restore all those relationships immediately. If it took me years to damage those relationships and to lose that stuff, it's going to take me years to get it back. And so I need to understand that getting clean and being restored is a slow and methodical process.
That's right.
That takes years. Because we have done damage to people. And guess what? You don't know how much damage you've done to your children, and neither do they. Some of it won't display itself until they're grown. Because you can't go to kids and get them to articulate the pain of abandonment and all that they've seen. Because they don't have the language. But when they get grown,
That's right.
you will see that cycle repeating itself, and they may not even know where it came from. I watched this documentary yesterday on fathers, and they were showing some of them, they were showing some fathers who was raised in single-parent homes. And then they was interviewing some kids, and they was interviewing this father who had abandoned his family when the little boy was 5. But when they really got to challenging him on why he done it and his past, he said, my father left me when I was 5. So it was very easy for him to leave his son. And here he was, a grown man, and his son was 15, and he said, well, if you don't reach out to me, I ain't gonna reach out to him. That was his response. And they said, whoa. You know, and he was a chef, he was a well-established man, but when it came to parenting his son, that was his view. But you know what he was doing? He was repeating what was done to him, because he said, I done all right without my father. He'll be all right. And the mother just started crying. Because she couldn't believe that this dude would say that on camera, but those were the skills that he was given by life. So guess what, y'all? There's a such thing. Family members, look up when you go home. Adult child of an alcoholic or adult child of an addict, and it will give you a list of behavior patterns that they go through. And it will be good for you to start looking at, because then you will start to see the signs of some of the things that your children are going through. I'm an adult child of an alcoholic, and I have had some erotic behaviors and things long before my addiction was there. I was thrown off because of the chaos that I seen growing up. It affected me. You know, and still does to this day. For many of us, getting the jury, we get the apartment, we go back to school, we get degrees, we become employed, we get new relationships, we get cars, we get new clothes. We get into a routine of doing what we believe normal people do. We reach a point of social acceptability, and many of us view these changes in ourselves as recovery. Because I have markers of all these things that I get, and so once I get these things, I'm okay. Y'all, Satan is the best giver of temporal fast gifts. He's better than God. God gives eternal gifts, and he's slow. So just because I go out and get a good job, and I get a woman, I get some clothes, that ain't God. Sometimes that's Satan setting me up. Because he know he can get me back by allowing me to acquire these things. So don't use stuff as the marker that you okay. Because guess what? Getting stuff has never been none of our problem. Keeping stuff has been our problem. See, some of us know how to get because we smart and we crafty and we good people. So me getting a good job ain't nothing. I know how to go in and con somebody into hiring me. Me getting a good woman, all I need is a haircut and a bath and 2 weeks of rest. I can go up in anybody's church and come out of there with a good church system. Now I can't keep her long because who I am is going to show up.
That's right.
Come on, y'all.
That's right.
As we know how to boo up. So me getting a good person and me getting a job don't mean I'm okay. I know how to do that. Me getting a car, so don't y'all be fooled by that.
That's right.
I'm sorry, I might have went too far. Many of us don't have time for step work. Y'all see that? If we ever did. We're too busy. We're too busy for recovery. And what happens, y'all, all of those shiny things that we get becomes a hindrance to my recovery. Jerry Porter used to say it like this. He said, God runs a risk of losing me by blessing me. Oh, I love that. That brother said that God runs a risk of losing me by blessing me. Because the same things that God blessed me with becomes a hindrance to me working the program. See, when he blessed me with a good woman, or y'all, the women, with a good man, that will be the very reason why now I can't go to a meeting. When God blessed me to get my kids back, now I can't go to a meeting. I got a woman and kids. I can't go to no meeting. Now he give me a job. So now I got to navigate and try to figure out how to have a woman, how to have kids, and how to have a job and still go to meetings. So I know this brother can't go to no meeting because he got a wife and he got a job. So he can't go to meetings. How can he do it? She look like she take up a lot of time. And he's a minister, so meetings are over. You see what I'm saying? So when God bless us, those things keep us from working the program. No, He didn't bless us with those things to stop us from getting to Him. Guess what, y'all? He know. See what that is, y'all? That's the meat. That's the bread. That get selfish and people who are addicted to shiny things to see the God in us. See, when we go feed the homeless, it ain't about the bread. It says that you can't minister to somebody's spiritual needs until you minister to their physical needs first. And so guess what? God blessed me with all of that stuff so that the world can see, wow, so you an addict? Yeah, man. So you got a wife, and you got a car, and you got a job, and you look like you dress pretty nice, and you still going to meetings? Yeah. That becomes my bait and a part of my testimony.
That's right.
That's not to stop me. Because guess what? People are attracted to that stuff when they see it. See, if I'm all broke down and nasty and dirty, ain't nobody want to come over there and talk to me. But when they see me looking like him, they be like, so man, really? Then that's when I tell them, you know what, man? This right here is just by the grace. Don't get caught up in the car. Don't get caught up in my wife. Don't get caught up in my house. But God is good and I'm grateful to have it. But I'm still unhappy. So I ain't caught up in this stuff. Don't you be caught up in this stuff. Pastor Smith used to say, and I'm going to hear it along, we end up praising the blessings instead of the bless all. You see what I'm saying? We spend so much time with the stuff that God give us that we ain't got time to start worshiping the God that gave us the stuff. AA and NA is good enough to get me on track, but once I get on track, AA and NA ain't good enough to keep me. You see what I'm saying? All the fellowship is good for is to help me to get on track. They ain't got no track that says we're gonna help you stay there. That's what that's what we say. Oh man, I'm tired of hearing that. I tell people all the time, I've been hearing the same stuff for 27 years. And I ain't tired, because one way or another, I'm going to hear this stuff for the rest of my life. The only thing God gives me is choice. In how I hear it and where I hear it. Because when I stop hearing it, going to it on my own, then I end up in an institution. And then I end up in jail. And guess what? As soon as they put them handcuffs on me, you know who the first thing I'm going to call? Oh Lord, if you get me, oh now I can pray. But I couldn't pray when I was driving that car and going to that job. But they put them handcuffs on, I go right to pray. And when they send me down there, I'm the first person at chapel. First one. I'm the first one at chapel when they send me to jail. And when I get in one of these treatment centers, I am the guru of treatment center work. So what I had to learn how to do is to build an altar in my own house. You see what I'm saying? I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to pray and go to church and work step work outside of a crisis. We're talking about social acceptability. Don't equal recovery. So I'm either going to be proactive in my recovery or I'm going to be reactive in my recovery. And we got to learn how to be proactive. That I just got to work the program. Even when I feel good and look good. Instead of reacting when I done lost everything. I know how to do that. Or I can pray some of the deepest and most eloquent prayers when the police are behind me. But when everything good, I wake up, if I remember sometime, all right, thank you, Lord. That's about it. Oh, but I can remember. I prayed an old Deacon 1960 prayer. Don't y'all? Get eloquent too. But now I don't have language when I got myself together, brother. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know what to say. Well, say what you said when the lights were on. Say what you said in the holding tank.
That's right.
Say what you said when you was in TDC. Say what you said in that vacant house when you wanted to get out. Be eloquent, don't it?